So I'm going to put you on the spot now. I got to see the abs.
Oh, man.
Come on, come on.
I've eaten a bunch of carbs today.
That's all right. That's all right. Give me a... All right, Nick.
Ryan.
Welcome. So, first of all, tell me who you are and your passion, I guess.
Nick Hayward, owner of the Fit Effect, the founder of the Fit Effect, and I often say like the original trainer. And then from there, we've built this business, built a membership, built a whole training team. And obviously, from your proximity, the cruise proximity to the gym, my passion is physical fitness, but also pushing others to accomplish goals and pushing others to their limits and through transformations.
So your gym is amazing. It's like 12,000 square feet.
Yep.
Obviously, you didn't start here. Talk a little bit about your start and your journey, I guess.
Yeah, so the beginnings, fairly humble beginnings. It started out in a one room. It used to be actually my grandfather's insurance office. And then originally actually it was a garage to a house my grandparents built here in Paris. And then it was my grandfather's insurance office for years. And then I, later in life, moved into that house and converted that space to a very small training studio. So when I say small, I believe the dimensions were about 12.8 feet by 14 feet. That's it. And I had it, what I felt at the time was extremely well equipped. I was so excited to, be training people. And immediately the first few people that I got a hold of had really exciting transformations, and things really grew so quickly that it was like a revolving door. People were coming in the front double doors and they were stumbling out the back doors at the end of their sessions. And I was so busy, I realized the only way to grow that business and more of a long-term approach was growing my team and having an actual physical location. So we kind of stepping stoned out of the home base location to our first physical location, which was just up the road on the corner of Scott Ave and Grand River.
I joined that one.
Yep, and then everything has led to the new purpose-built building that Brooke and I developed and built, and where we are today.
It's an amazing spot. I feel like people don't understand the atmosphere. It's not like any gym anywhere. Can you talk about the atmosphere? People see like...
and even the word intensity might be a little bit too intimidating, but it's energy, right? So, when, let's say you're at a championship tennis game or volleyball game, like where people are really giving big effort and it's competitive, you're going to feel that energy, right? So when I see gyms, which I call commercialized or big box gyms, trying to do away with energy/intensity, how can people be training to their limits? So we don't have what I call typical rules as far as, we encourage big breathing because we know athletic performance and getting more oxygen, it requires it. We encourage and have louder music than most places because we think it adds to the energy and ambiance of the space.
And at the same time, though, there's no egos in there, no one talking poorly to anyone. It's a team atmosphere, family.
I feel like it is. And I think new people that I start with, they're always worried when I encourage these sounds and breathing methods, they're worried that others are going to stare at them. And then I told them, like, everybody's doing it. Like, it'd be actually weird if you didn't breathe. Like, if you were training with me and you were silent, we'd all be worried medically, like, is this person going to make it? Or why would they do that to themselves and not experience their limits, which can bring about change, right? So sometimes, the screaming and the sounds can be misunderstood, right? People that are newer, that haven't been assimilated into our culture, think that some of it might be a little bit over the top or potentially unnecessary. But once they experience how their body can perform and how it feels to kind of let that out. This is one of the few safe places where you can let that out. I mean, you can't do it at the supermarket. You can't do it at university. There's no place that you can really put your body to its limits other than, in sports. like I mentioned, where the sounds are encouraged. Martial arts, boxing, competitive tennis, volleyball. The people are very vocal with the performance of their body, and that's why we encourage that within the gym. And I mentioned the sounds because I think that's one of the biggest immediate things people notice is different. They come in and they're like, "Whoa, it sounds really intense in here," but it's an amazing experience. It feels good. People get better results, and results is really what it's all about, because people that are getting results continue to be members, continue to be clients, because they're getting something out of membership, right? And they don't want to let that go.
And at the same time, some of the people you're training are not like enormous meatheads. Talk about some of your favorite clients.
I mean, when people reach out, and I have a lot of people through social media, they reach out and inquire about training, and the ones that always kind of hook me into being interested are the ones with a bit of a backstory, sometimes the ones that have some adversity in their life, something they're going through. Typically, they're never athletes. Like, if somebody reaches out and said, "I'm a top-level contender for doing a bodybuilding show, will you coach me?" I'm like, okay, this doesn't really fit my passion, because my passion really lies in taking more, I would say, struggling everyday people and trying to motivate them and teach them my skill set to make them feel great about themselves, right? And that to me is a transformation client. But I don't discriminate against any particular client, because I do work with all types of clients, but everyone from younger people struggling with issues where fitness can really help give them direction to my oldest client right now is 85, and I won't say her name because she doesn't like to be labeled as 85, because she doesn't look it or feel it. But we train, and she gets a lot of strength and maintains her independence, and even the social connection to the gym is really an important part of the happiness in her life, right? And that's a big span. That could be from age 14 to 85, and there's a lot of people in between.
And I thought she was in her maybe late 60s, and to hear that she's 85 is shocking.
I posted her transformation a couple of years ago, right before COVID, and she didn't want me to put her age. I wanted to put her age because I wanted people to understand how she was defying aging and just capable of so much, even with issues and adversity she'd had in her life. But I did mention a particular car that she was born before this car was even launched, which was 1938. Which perspective, right? You think about us and when we were born and where we're at, and she's still killing it.
Wild. So, is it ever too late?
You know what?
Or is if someone is heavier or they haven't touched anything, should they start prior to talking with you, or just head right out?
I think it's never too late as long as you have the right mindset. When I realize that people are going to be very hard to help is when they come in and their mind is closed to the fact that they need to relearn so many patterns in their life. And I find that with people as they age, and I use this analogy. I say, let's say you adopt a dog and they're 8 years old, and they need a home, and they got all these bad habits. They're chewing everything in the house. They're not well trained to go outside to go to the bathroom. And you try to work with this dog, but they're so ingrained in their patterns, it's really frustrating. It's very unrewarding. And in some ways, you kind of think it's not necessarily the dog's fault, because they may be limited. Those patterns are so ingrained. I meet people sometimes in their life, and I really think of that analogy, because I'm like, unless you come in with that mindset, look, my body's falling apart, my mobility I'm losing, my health I'm a hot mess, my doctor said I got these restrictions and this is my likely outcomes. If they come in with the right mindset, sure, we can turn back time, we can reverse a lot of those things, but if they come in for that quick fix without embracing new knowledge, they're nearly impossible to help. So with that being said, I would never put restrictions on anyone, because we've seen so many people overcome what people think would be impossible adversity. But again, they came in with the right attitude and mindset to accept change.
Amazing. So you stay very lean almost all year. Is it hard to stay strict?
Well, I consider myself a person of extremes, and what I really enjoy is the extreme nature of setting goals and then allow for a period of reward where I'm not always feeling like I'm on a restricted diet. So I'm not always on a diet. But lately, over the last few years, because it's helped my own mental health and my focus through all the adversities of the last few years,
I'm going to get into that. I'm going to get into that.
I have set more goals than normal. So what's been happening is I almost just get done one goal and then I find myself realizing, oh, when I stay focused, I feel better. When I have, a little lighthouse beacon that I'm chasing after, that I'm moving towards every day, I'm more successful. So I just keep setting goals for myself, which keeps resulting in me moving further with my fitness, even though I'm coming up on 45. At my birthday, I have a shoot plan in Montreal. And I've announced I'm going to be in the best shape of my life. I'm on track to be in the best shape of my life. And I hope that shows others that, age is a number. And if we put a plan in place and we have discipline and we continue to gain our knowledge, you can accomplish whatever you set your mind to.
Okay. I see a lot of people training abs all day long, all day. And they are surprised that they can't improve.
Yeah.
Can you explain why that
Yes,
is?
this is a big. So when people, I used to do more tours. Now we have a lot of staff giving tours, but a really big indicator of somebody that doesn't know much about fitness.
How long since anyone who you trained trains abs?
I mean, sometimes when somebody's new and they have some weaknesses in their core where their lower back's getting tight, I encourage them to maybe supplement with a little bit of ab work. But really, I don't have anyone training abs because, there's a great saying, abs are made in the kitchen, not in the gym. And by detailing your food specific to the goal of getting thinner skin, catering your cardio at the right times when your body is depleted and fat will burn, you basically thin the skin, revealing the core, right? So the core is there. We all have some level of abs or we would just fall over, right?
So you aren't training abs at all?
I don't train abs at all. Now,
So I'm going to put you on the spot now. I got to see the abs.
Oh, man.
Come on.
I've eaten a bunch of carbs today.
That's all right. Give me a lab shot.
I don't know if this lighting is
Give me
good
a
or not.
lab
Okay.
shot. I'm sorry about the
So,
lighting. Hasn't trained abs in how long?
Well, I mean, maybe I do it the odd time
Yeah.
as a challenge against somebody. That one time we did the ab battle. But I mean,
was terrible.
No specific ab training, but the way that I breathe and even teach clients to breathe, the contraction of their abdominals is so powerful and it's so integral into each move. So when you're pulling on your lats, your core is a big part of that. So when you bear down and you grunt and you prepare yourself for power, you're flexing your stomach. And even I find as a trainer, and you may have heard this, I'm counting all the time. And I'm clenching, right? I'm always engaging my core. Anytime I lift something, people ask me to help move a couch or something. And I'm always like, I'll be like, and they're like, whoa. I'm like, I breathe. I'm tightening my core. So I think it's a big misconception. The machines that train your abs doesn't necessarily make your abs visible. It can help tone the abs under the skin, thinning the skin. The ability to see core detail comes down to a balance of nutrition, intelligent cardio that's worth doing right at the right time, and then sensible weight training to help tone the body.
Amazing. So let's go to the challenges. It's been a challenging last 2 years.
Yeah.
You were about to have your grand opening,
Yeah.
and then it got to lock down. I would imagine that was painful. How did you survive?
Crazy time, yeah. So I remember just the chronological orders that things were happening. Where hearing about COVID, first cases in Hamilton. There's going to be this 2-week lockdown. We were 6 weeks out from having our 10-year anniversary open house celebrated in the new building. We had 500 T-shirts printed that had the 10-year anniversary logo that were going to be giveaways at this event. And there's almost a disbelief. And I remember thinking, okay, 2 weeks, we got this 2-week lockdown. We'll get back to it. We'll still make our deadlines. And I remember a friend of mine that's in the medical community goes, oh, it's going to be longer than 2 weeks. I'm like, really? And then it just over and over and over again, things that we thought couldn't happen and really, when we analyzed, shouldn't happen, kept happening, right? So, how did I get through it? Like I said,
And they were
focused.
really pressing lockdowns instead of health.
Oh,
and
yeah,
masks
yeah.
instead of health.
Big time, and I'm very opinionated on that, in the sense that I don't agree with our government's response to COVID. I think there was no media or direct government messaging on health or getting healthy or preparing your immune system in any way, shape, or form to be healthier if you should encounter a COVID infection. I think everyone got locked down and they got unhealthier. They developed more unhealthy habits. I think people, in fact, it was the first time ever cigarette sales in Canada went up. People started smoking again, believe it or not, with all the knowledge behind that. Alcohol sales shot up 45% through LCBO outlets, which is insane.
And they kept that open as an essential service.
Essential, yeah. Gyms, health, fitness, non-essential. So yeah,
So you dragged everything into the parking lot,
yeah, at one time, yeah. And when I remember the tents,
and that was amazing. I
it was
enjoyed
crazy.
myself.
It was a crazy time, yeah, and at enormous cost of staffing because we staffed 24 hours a day. We even had like a night a security guy because we didn't want any liability of people getting in the tents and getting hurt
In the
kids.
parking lot.
Yeah, yeah. So we rented the biggest tents that we could without getting a building permit, and we had to keep them at least 12 feet apart to kind of circumvent the rules, because if we got them too close together, cumulatively now it needed a big permit, and they would never give us a permit because we were a gym and we were non-essential, right? But at the same time that was going on, where we were allowed 10 people, the splash pad in town that was of the same size was allowed 25 people. Both activities outside.
10 people.
10
the
could do
parking lot.
fitness. 10 could do fitness.
Yes.
25 could be splashed with water in the same amount of square footage. Yeah.
I think that your gym is probably the cleanest I've ever seen. You
Yeah.
really take pride in everything.
Absolutely.
Talk about your passion towards just excellence in the gym.
I think because I love the gym so much. I mean,
Other gyms see stuff out of order or chipped paint.
yeah. I mean, I have OCD, so and OCD works well for me because I'm able to channel it. You know, it doesn't hinder my life experience because I identify that I have it, and I think I also diagnosed with ADHD. So I use these things as a strength, and it makes me. And I can remember when we didn't used to be 24 hours way back in the beginning, and I used to do the closing shifts a lot, and I could barely ever leave. It was never done. Like I started being like almost getting no sleep because I would never leave until everything was perfect. And now that we're 24 hour, that's a little bit easier because we always have a bit of a flow of staff and cleaners and people straightening. And we've been double staffing. Like when COVID started, we started double staffing right away in an effort to keep an even cleaner facility. And we've been able to maintain that for a better customer experience with how we straighten weight plates and how we wipe stuff down and fill up spray bottles. I've been to gyms where the paper towels are gone, the squirt bottles are empty. There's no soap in the bathroom floors were sticky. You know, like I'm traveling and I'm kind of forced to find a gym sometimes. So for me, like, because this gym is reflective of me, and my members deserve better, I mean, we just simply hold it to a much higher standard. Like we want to be clean. Even before COVID was a thing, we were clean, and then we took it another step further. So when, you know, even through that whole time, there was never a case associated with the gym or an outbreak associated with the gym, right? And I'm a big believer, and many articles have come out and studies have shown that physical fitness and having a more ideal parameters of your health is the biggest defense against any of these upcoming viruses. And viruses are going to keep coming, right? So
Exactly.
It's not a one and done situation, and it's not, oh, I got inoculated, I'm safe. Because obviously you can see that's a never ending thing. It's never ending. It's not a one and done. So my thing is, like, I reiterate to all my friends, family, and members that want to hear what I have to say: stay healthy, get healthy. You know, train, eat well, get the proper amount of sleep, and you'll be best prepared to deal with whatever happens. Right.
All right. So the last question: tell me something you're hoping to achieve in the next 5 years at the gym. Or personally?
I mean, we've been setting lots of membership growth goals, And I think, and you're aware of this in the real estate industry, I mean, this area is growing so much. And we couldn't be more excited because we keep growing the Fit Effect family, right? And every day, regardless of whether we have this current November promotion, even before a promotion, every day people are coming in and signing up. We're meeting new people. And I think every day people are moving to town as these new subdivisions complete out and build out and populate. So that, growth within that membership, there's some thresholds we're really eager to hit. Constantly with those thresholds of success with the business from a revenue generation standpoint, we keep improving the equipment. We just got those new treadmills. There's more cardio.
I have to try them still.
Yes,
I'm not such a fan of cardio.
When's the last time you were on the cardio mezzanine?
It's been a while. It's in the winter. It's in the winter. But I'm able to have a little bit more.
Have you been on the cardio mezzanine since the new treadmills went up?
I have not. I have not.
Problem. Okay, so
I'll get up there today.
And I think at some point, off subject of the gym, I want to get back to doing some traveling. I want Brooke and I both been through a lot, and my staff too. So I don't want to just think that Brooke and I, bared all that stress, because I mean, anybody in the industry and so many people are members. Everybody's been through a lot the last 2.5, 3 years. So I'd like to get back to where carve out some time and have some life experiences, some enriching experiences that make memories.
If you could travel anywhere.
There's some wild places like Malta, and there's some places I've been looking at lately. There's so much history out there. There's so much archaeological, fascinating things. And I'm like, we got to go see these things. Like, this is crazy stuff. Like, these are, when you think about 6,000-year-old civilizations and history, we live in a bubble where, it's easy because I loved what I do. And every day I kind of grind doing what I do. But I mean, life goes by so fast. Like, even when you say over the last 2.5, 3 years, like this whole COVID thing, like that,
I can't agree more.
It was like, what? Yeah, it's way too fast. And even as
I love traveling as well.
The birthdays come faster than ever, right?
Exactly.
Don't you notice that? Every year that goes by, it's like you're like,
I got one approaching too.
Yeah,
same as yours.
Birthdays faster than ever.
I'm turning 45.
Yeah,
I have a few abs, but not that many. Anyway.
Yeah,
I appreciate that,
fantastic.
Sir. That was amazing. Yeah. Check this guy out. The top of the line. I can't say enough good stuff.
I'll finish with come join the Fit Effect family, right? And when I used that phrase earlier, really it's a community within the community. So when you join, you really kind of assimilate in and become part of the culture, and people all kind of meet other people. And we have a coffee lounge, and everybody visits, and everybody has great workouts, and we all have fun.
I'm going to post a bunch of other stuff about it.
Awesome.
Have a great day, everyone.